Good afternoon, everybody. This is Lorraine, Alternative Homesteading. I hope everybody's doing well. It was actually a nice, sunny, blue sky day, and then we had some sky activity, actually all morning long, as you can see. There is no rain expected, but it looks like it could rain. Oh, no. See, now this is what roosters do all day long, Johnny Depp. He was going after my creamy girl. But I wanted to say something. I posted a couple of videos this morning about TikTok. And I'm going to speak on it because I do think it's important, whether you like the app or not. This is about freedom of speech. This is about censorship. And let's face it, anybody that has a Facebook page, a Google account, come on, guys. Who's sharing and profiting off of our data more than Facebook? It's even been investigated before Congress. Mark Zuckerberg had to testify about the selling of personal information. He's already been found guilty. Oh, but law officials, people are so upset because TikTok might be sharing our information with communist China. Come on, guys, let's face it. Here in the United States of the USA, China has purchased up a lot of our farmland. How come that was permitted? But they want to ban the app? I posted online on that video where I don't know if he's the chairman, the owner, Shu, who's quite articulate, and I do believe reasonable, said that there are 770 million TikTok users and 7,000 million businesses that were created in the U.S. because of that app. I can attest to the fact that if it weren't for TikTok, I would have never heard of that public defender in New York City, Eliza Orlins. Would have never heard of her. There are at least 6 or 7 musicians, young musicians from all over the world that I would have never heard of if I didn't find them first on TikTok. There are other YouTube creators that became very popular on TikTok and then moved to YouTube. And I'll tell you why. I started on TikTok. Even though my YouTube account was all set up, I hadn't posted any videos. I went on to TikTok first. I figured, okay, I can do this. They're very short videos. I didn't need any kind of equipment. I could just upload it from my phone. And I started out a couple of years ago on TikTok, just photographing my chickens and their eggs and flowers and posting them on TikTok. I was astonished at how many views and subscribers I got in a short amount of time. And then, of course, when I started posting my crazy neighbors, my neighbor, actually, the video went crazy of my neighbor screaming at me while she's posting no trespassing signs on my property. I'm pretty certain it was because of that video that Neighborhood Wars on A&E contacted me about doing a segment. But if it weren't for TikTok, the views on TikTok, I never get those views on YouTube, never. And I'll give you a case in point. And it's not that you guys aren't following and watching and commenting. And, there's some regular people, and then there are people that are silent about it. Oh, and here, look, this is what the criminals did. I'll show you, look. They pulled off the panel again. You see that? So anyway, they're relentless. These gang stalkers, these losers, they're so envious and jealous. And of course they're financially motivated. And when people like the county lawyer and the sheriff's department is complicit and doesn't prosecute them, this immature, disgusting behavior persists. And they're going to crisscross right now. Watch what's going to happen. Here comes one here. And then there's one, I just saw it down there. They're going to crisscross somewhere in the middle. But, so I'm going to give you an example. On the 12th, I posted a video about the tree that was vandalized. See, here it comes, watch. The tree guy. I posted the video of the tree that was vandalized with all the holes gouged out in it. So right now, I've got just under about 200 views on YouTube, on that video. Just under 200 views on YouTube. I have 8,552 views on TikTok. That same video. I actually posted it on TikTok hours after I posted it on YouTube. It has 8,552 views. It has, I don't remember, it was 42 or 62 likes. And then people have even shared that video. I think there were 6 or 7 shares of that video on TikTok. But on YouTube, no one shared it. I think it was 11 likes on that video and under 200 views. So that's why the politicians, Congress, they want to ban TikTok because information spreads virally on TikTok. Young people love the app. And aside from the fact that even though there is censorship and banned information on TikTok, and yes, there is. So don't be of the misguided belief that it's not happening on that app also. But what they're banning and censoring is somewhat reasonable, okay? It's not so much on YouTube. And I'm going to show you a pattern of what they do to my trees. Okay, I'm going to show you what they do. So look at this. You see how there's one limb missing here? And look at this. And then what they do is after it's cut, they infect it. And look. You see the pattern here? And they're doing this to all of my trees. Here on this rural property where the former owner must be rolling around in his grave of what they're doing to the property that he built, that he lived in for 30 years. You know, it's ironic, the parallel between the former owner and myself were a lot alike. But he lived here for 30 years, and I lived for 30 years at my home in Manalapan, New Jersey. And when I started cleaning up these buildings, I started cleaning up like all these empty peanut butter jars, applesauce jars, and ironically, like I have tons of peanut butter. Like I eat a lot of peanut butter. It's like we have the same eating habits, and he had photos of cats. I don't think anybody realized that he was a cat lover. I'm just picking up branches here, guys. But he was a cat lover. But I digress. Banning TikTok would be banning and preventing businesses that started on TikTok from continuing to grow. Wow, look at this. It's a gang stalker. Look at the orange one there. Look at these criminals. They've got nothing else to do in the middle of the day but stalk a 65-year-old woman. Did you see that was 4 cars in that direction and 1 in the other? That's 5 cars in the time that I'm talking to you guys. They're so stupid. Just so stupid. And look at, they felled this tree here too. They do this like every couple of months. They take down a tree. And there's one there. And what they do is when they take it down, they leave it partially attached. So I'll have to get a saw out and saw that. Or I'll just leave it there. I'm just going to leave some things here as evidence. This tree that they damaged, I'm leaving it up as evidence. I'm going to leave it up actually, unless it poses a danger of falling on somebody. I will be leaving this tree here as evidence. I am not going to get rid of this evidence. This is too good evidence. So no matter what you think about TikTok, banning TikTok would be like, you know how so many YouTube creators have been banned, and then they had to move to Rumble or BitChute or Odyssey. And we don't want that to happen. So an app should not be banned because a few people in Congress don't like it. But however, I want to mention that, surprise, surprise, there were 60 senators, whatever, around the country that voted to not have it removed. Imagine. That was a lot. That was a lot of support to not have it removed. So you can see the downed tree there. So there were 60 that chose to not have it removed or banned. So, you know, I just want to say that I get more views, more likes, more shares of anything, literally anything I post on TikTok than I do on YouTube. Now, granted, there are a lot of shadow bans with targeted people. And I believe that that's one of the reasons they want the app banned. You know, there are more than 4 million innocent people on some kind of a list that are trying to voice what's going on. There are a lot of people wanting to speak out. And VTube and other platforms are silencing and censoring. And then you have all the cyber bullies, the bots, the guerrilla creatures that go around harassing targeted people, and all of his minions that follow him and then tag all the targeted people that he created a list about. And yes, this happens. I was, somebody mentioned a video that I posted that I shared. You know, David Atkinson posted a video with the Cognitive Investigative Services wanting to form a class action suit. Now, anybody that gives information to them or anybody else, if you're not already sharing it, then it's not wise to share personal information with people you don't know. However, whatever I shared with him is not anything that he couldn't find on my channel. Because I'm being very vocal about what's happening to me here and what happened at 52 Sutton Drive in Manalapan, New Jersey. I have no problem sharing it because I'm telling the truth and I could prove it. I could prove it with incident reports. I could prove it with photos of vandalism, photos of damage to my property, photos of my pets that have been tormented. I can prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. But there is no due process for targeted people. Why is that? Because it's a big cover-up. So now, the one thing I took away from that person, and I'll mention his name since he had the audacity to mention my channel, and that I'm spreading this information. I'm putting the information out there. It's everybody else's responsibility to investigate. Do your own research. I'm providing the resources. You do your investigation. If somebody's forming a class action suit, do not donate to them until they tell you they have a lawyer. And you know the name of the lawyer, and you're going to be on that class action. Okay? That's the way I see it. I have no problem providing my information if they're gathering information, because a lot of times you can't obtain a lawyer. A lawyer for class action wants to know that you've got, 200, 300, 500 people to create the class action. So I have no problem adding my name to that list. And the other thing is the class action has nothing to do with vandalism, break-ins, pet harm, or whatever. It only has to do with the technology being utilized against us. So what happens is if you join a class action suit about one issue, let's say it's that, you win it, You will not be able to utilize that information in a personal lawsuit, okay, because you've already won that lawsuit. However, you can file a lawsuit against a city, a county, a sheriff's department, an individual. You can file lawsuits against those people for violating your rights, your constitutional rights, for not filing reports, for not offering you, for not prosecuting the crimes against you, for not accurately reporting them, or not showing up to document it. Okay, you can file lawsuits about that individually. So now this guy, I forget his name, he used to be called Conspiracy Underground. Now he's going under another name. He even admitted to the fact that, you know, he's being a little opportunistic here by grabbing the Gorilla Boys list of targeted people. Why would somebody want to be in contact with a well-known cyberstalker who torments people for profit? Why would somebody want to be in contact with somebody like that? I don't know. Baffles the mind. But I was tagged, so I was curious. Yes. What are you complaining about? Look at this creature. What are you complaining about? Huh? This is a boy. You can tell by the way they cackle. It's a boy. What do you complain? And his waddles are longer than the girls. Look at the way he runs. It's so funny. It's like they've got a little skirt. When they run, it wobbles back and forth. So that's what I wanted to say. Okay, first about TikTok. This is against your freedom of speech, and it baffles the mind because they're worried that TikTok is collecting our data to use in their country. TikTok has created more jobs for Americans than the U.S. has. They have supported small businesses, and I have witnessed them. I've even bought stuff through TikTok online. There are more musicians that became famous on TikTok than they did anywhere else. So I beg to differ. I support TikTok. You don't have to like it. And there are sometimes I get on there just for entertainment, sometimes for information, just to listen to music. And the thing on like Saturday and Sunday nights, for some reason, they've got a lot of people doing lives, and it's just bizarre, just totally bizarre. But this is freedom of expression, freedom of speech, things that would not be allowed on YouTube. Okay, and then with the YouTube algorithms, even if I search for my own titles, I can't even find my own videos. Why is that? Why is that? Because it's being suppressed. It's not fair. So yes, the video that I posted on the 12th, the vandalism of my tree, on TikTok has 8,552 views. More saves and shares than on YouTube, on TheYtube. So that's why I always ask, please like, please comment, please share. I never do that on TikTok. Never. I post it and I am shocked at how many people view my videos. Absolutely shocked. And they continue to. And more people subscribing. Like on TikTok, I have just under 900 subscribers. And on YouTube, I've got just over 1,600 subscribers, like just under 1,700 subscribers. And I post far fewer videos on TikTok. I've actually posted a little bit more because now they're permitting longer videos on TikTok. At one time, they were very short videos, like shorts were, maybe a little bit longer. Like you could post a 2-minute video and it would be fine. But anyway, I don't think that TikTok should be banned. I think it would be a horrible thing for the economy. It would be a horrible thing for small businesses here in the United States. A lot of the young people that are on there, young meaning in their 20s, they're all young to me, but in their 20s and 30s, it would be heartbreaking for them. They do a lot of business, a lot of communication, a lot of connections that they lost during the 2-year, back in the 2020 during that lockdown. So, and I think that's another reason why they want to shut it down, because they don't want information sharing for the next lockdown. And there will be one. They don't want people sharing the information across the world. They don't want anybody else to know the disgusting stuff that's going on in the United States against innocent people. Oh yeah, so we're going to put Christians on the watch list. We're going to put animal rights people on the watch list. The cow farts are on the watch list. I don't know. They're putting all the innocents on the list, and all the criminals, the stalkers, are not on a list. So it's all backwards. When it's backwards like that, Satan is involved. With Satanism, these are demonic, disgusting, amoral, sinister, corrupt people who report to one or two higher level people in each community that allows this to happen to innocent people, because they're envious, jealous, and greedy. So I'm going to get off my little rant here, and I hope everybody is doing well. It's actually, it's very pretty out. It's warm. It's supposed to be today. It's supposed to reach 75 degrees. Yeah, it was 50 degrees when I woke up today. And it's supposed to be 75, and my birds are freaking out, which usually means that they see something. So I'm going to go over there. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to sign off for now. I'm going to go check on what my birds are looking at.